The story begins on a dangerous island filled with snakes, where four friends had arrived to catch them. In fact, these men earned money by capturing snakes and selling them, and today as well, they had come to this island for the same purpose. After reaching the island, they tied a chicken's leg to a rope and lowered it into a small tunnel, hoping that as soon as a large python tried to eat it, they would pull the rope and catch the snake. After waiting for a while, as soon as some creature inside the tunnel grabbed the chicken, one of them, a man named Senthiao, began pulling the rope. But with just a bit of pressure, the rope snapped, confirming Senthiao's suspicion that there was definitely a huge snake inside the tunnel. So he told his companions that he would go inside the tunnel himself to capture the snake, and as soon as he signaled, they should pull him out. After saying this, Senthiao crawled into the tunnel, where he spotted a snake of massive size and grabbed it immediately. But then he realized that the tunnel was much bigger from the inside, and he sensed danger. So he quickly told his companions to pull him out. However, one of them, a heavy man named Arbing, thought Senthiao was joking and that there was nothing inside the tunnel. Instead of pulling him out, he began tickling Senthiao's feet and laughing. But after a moment, when Senthiao started screaming loudly, all three of his companions tried to pull him out together. However, by then it was already too late, because a gigantic snake inside the tunnel had begun slithering towards Senthiao. In an instant, it dragged him deep into the tunnel. Arbing thrust his hand inside the tunnel to pull Senthiao out, but a snake bit him on the hand. When the others pulled Arbing back outside, a snake was still clinging to his arm, which they quickly chopped off and killed. But the terrifying sounds coming from inside the tunnel made them realize that something enormous, a monstrous creature, was hiding in there. Fearing for their lives, they hurriedly fled from the area. Terrified by the horrifying sounds coming from the tunnel, they rushed to their boat and set off toward home. By then, it was nighttime. Rain was pouring heavily, and Arbing was shaken to his core, feeling responsible for Senthiao's death. Their guilt and fear led to arguments among them. Suddenly, their boat was hit by a strong jolt, startling them. They immediately suspected that the monster from the island had followed them. Before they could understand anything, the boat was struck again, this time so violently that it nearly capsized. Their companion Davin fell into the water. Seeing this, Bamiyan climbed onto the boat deck and quickly turned on the light, while Arbing threw a tire tied to a rope into the water to save Davin. But when Arbing glanced toward Bamiyan, he saw a huge snake standing right behind him before it disappeared in an instant. The snake then attacked Dabing in the water and killed him. Arbing tried to stab the snake with a spear, but it launched a fierce attack on him, sending him flying into the air and killing him before he even fell back down. Bamiyan was so terrified by the size of the snake that he began begging it to spare his life, promising never to catch snakes again. But the snake climbed onto the boat and advanced toward him anyway. Near a camera on the boat were several snake eggs, and the giant snake had come all the way here while pursuing those eggs. In the very next moment, the snake killed Bamiyan as well. A few days later, a woman came running and dragged a man named Shen toward her home. Shen was a snake catcher, a snake rescuer, and a dangerous snake had entered her house, which is why she had called him. As soon as Shen entered the house, he noticed a few snake eggs which the woman's husband had brought home, and Shen explained that the snake had come there in search of these eggs. Just then, Shen heard a noise coming from the upstairs room. When he went up, he found the woman's husband and her child huddled together in fear. The husband and the child were sitting terrified in a corner, and the venomous snake was right in front of them. That snake even tried to attack Shen, but Shen was so skilled at his job that he caught the snake within seconds using nothing but a rope. And when the woman's child thanked Shen for saving them, Shen told him that snakes are not bad. He should just tell his father not to steal snake eggs again. After this, Shen's friend Muffin arrived. As soon as he came, he showed Shen the news on his phone. The news reported that, following the recent giant snake incident in the sea, the police had now found Bamiyan's body and some of his belongings on the shore. After seeing this news, Shen immediately rushed to the Wildlife Protection Association office, where he showed everyone Bamiyan's photograph. Shen explained that the bite marks on Bamiyan's body clearly indicated the work of a Titan python, an estimated 15-meter-long snake, which exists only on Snake Island. That is why Shen wanted to use the authority of the Wildlife Conservation Organization to request the government to declare Snake Island a nature reserve. But the senior officer from the Environmental Protection Division, a woman named Zhao, said that this was impossible because, according to the International Snake Organization, such snakes had gone extinct 58 years ago. As proof, Shen showed them the last video recorded on Bamiyan's camera, in which the Titan python could clearly be seen. Everyone was shocked after watching this footage. After seeing the video, they instructed Zhao to accompany Shen to Snake Island to investigate. Before leaving, Zhao found out that Shen used to be a soldier and was also a descendant of the Snake King. Meanwhile, the owner of a large real estate company, Penn, had received tourism development projects for 4 desert islands, one of which was Snake Island. Penn had already invested a huge amount of money into the project. so he approached a man named Jin, who captured and sold snakes on the black market. Handing Jin several gold bars, Pen ordered him to stop Shen at any cost, because if Shen proved that the Titan Python existed on the island, all the money Pen invested would go to waste. Jin agreed, assuring Pen that such a situation would never arise. The next day, Shen left for the Titan Python Island with Zhao and his friend Muffin on a boat. During the trip, Shen used binoculars and noticed Jin heading toward the same island with his men, confirming that Jin had teamed up with Pen. After reaching the island, Jin's men set up camp, and they began planning how to capture the Titan Python. Meanwhile, their man Mutao went a short distance away to pee. Suddenly, Mutao's tied-up dog began barking loudly because something was moving in the bushes nearby. The dog broke free from its rope and ran into the bushes, but it didn't return. This scared Mutao, and his fear skyrocketed when something extremely large began rushing toward him. A few moments later, Mutao staggered back to the tent, badly injured. A massive cobra had followed him back, and it was the cobra that had attacked him. Seeing the cobra, everyone ran for their lives, but it cornered one of their men, spreading its hood wide. If he moved even slightly, the cobra would kill him. At that moment, a girl and two men, siblings, emerged from one of the tents. They immediately began playing rock, paper, scissors to decide who would capture the cobra. Hung won the game and took on the challenge. He was extremely skilled. Within moments, he grabbed the cobra and stuffed it into a bag, handing it to Jin. Just then, Shen arrived with his team and demanded that Jin release the cobra. After a brief argument, Jin told Shen that if he could snatch the bag from him, he could take it. Their fight began, and because Shen was ex-military, he easily overpowered Jin and took the bag. Seeing their boss losing, Jin's men pointed their weapons at Shen and his team, but Jin stopped them and allowed Shen to leave. Even though Jin had lost the fight, he clearly had another plan in mind. Meanwhile, Shen, Muffin, and Zhao released the cobra and began searching the island for evidence of the Titan Python. It was now late at night, and heavy rain began falling. To take shelter, Shen took Zhao and Muffin to a cottage built long ago by his grandfather. As soon as they entered, they smelled a strong odor of rotten fish, making them suspect that the Titan Python might have been there recently. They carefully searched the cottage, and soon they found a man's corpse inside, frightening both Muffin and Zhao. But Shen recognized the body. It was Arbin, Bamiyan's friend. Seeing his decaying body, Zhao explained that he had died due to a snake attack. Zhao explained that Arbin's death had happened because the giant snake had completely swallowed him. Hearing this, Shen said that as soon as they got a signal, they would inform the police about Arbin's body so they could perform his funeral. Along with this, they found a large hole in the cottage wall, so they blocked it with some items to make sure the snake couldn't enter. After this, Zhao began changing her clothes while Shen started cooking food for all of them. But during this time, Zhao felt as if someone was secretly watching her. For the moment, she ignored the feeling and went to join Shen and Muffin for dinner. After eating, Muffin found a photo of the Titan Python in a small wooden box that belonged to Shen's grandfather. Meanwhile, Shen and Zhao again felt that someone else was around them. When Shen tried to open the door, he realized someone had locked it from outside. At the same time, Muffin noticed something moving under the cloth covering Arbin's corpse and got scared. When Shen removed the cloth, there was a venomous snake underneath it, and he quickly threw it away. But then another snake bit Muffin. So Shen used fire to drive both snakes away and took out an antidote from his supplies to save Muffin's life. Before Shen could administer the antidote, one of Jin's men secretly injected Shen with something that temporarily paralyzed him, and the two venomous snakes started moving towards Shen and Muffin to bite them. Meanwhile, another one of Jin's men dragged Zhao out of the cottage with bad intentions toward her. But before he could do anything, the Titan Python suddenly appeared and devoured him, freeing Zhao. After this, Zhao rushed inside and was horrified to see Shen and Muffin in such critical condition. But remembering Shen's instructions, she quickly gave them the antidote just in time and saved their lives. The next morning, they all set out once again to track down the Titan Python. During the search, they found a snakeskin hanging on a tree, confirming that the Titan Python was indeed present on the island. But they still needed more evidence. Then they came across Yong, lying on the ground in terrible condition. Shen quickly gave him an antidote and saved him too. When Zhao examined the liquid on Yong's body, she realized it was caused by the Titan Python and that the snake was close to laying eggs. After that, they carried Yang back to Jin's camp, where everyone believed Shen had hurt him. But Yang regained consciousness just in time and told Jin that Shen and his companions were not responsible. Everything was done by the Titan Python. Hearing this, Jin gave Shen a large amount of gold as a reward for saving his brother's life. But Shen hadn't saved him for money, so he returned the gold. Shen told Jin that if he truly wanted to thank him, he should release all the captured snakes and leave the island. But Jin refused to agree. After long arguing, Shen said that if Jin really wanted to repay him, he should give him a vehicle. Jin accepted and gave him one, and Shen drove away with Zhao, and Muffin. While traveling, Zhao told Shen and Muffin that she believed the Titan Python had already laid eggs, and if those eggs fell into Jin's hands, it would be disastrous. The survival chance of baby pythons was already extremely low, so they needed to take the egg with them, because nothing could serve as better proof of the Titan Python's existence on the island. Shen then told Zhao that he was a descendant of the Snake King family, and his purpose was to protect snakes. His grandfather always said that the Titan Python still existed, but Shen never believed him until Bamiyan's death and the video he had seen. Now he wanted the government to declare the island a nature reserve so that people wouldn't continue dying at the hands of the Titan Python. While they were talking, suddenly the Titan Python crossed the road in front of their vehicle, and they immediately began chasing it so they could record evidence. But then another vehicle suddenly stopped in front of them. Inside were Kong and his sister, Jin's people. They believed Shen had killed their brother, so they attacked Shen and Muffin. After a tough fight, Shen knocked out Kong and Muffin knocked out his sister. They quickly set out to find Zhao, who had gone after the Titan Python alone. Zhao had followed the giant snake all the way into its cave. As the python left the cave, Zhao looked down with the help of her torch and spotted the python's eggs lying inside. Seeing them made her extremely happy. Since the python wasn't in the cave at that moment, Zhao used a rope to climb down and observe the eggs closely. But the moment she sensed that the python was returning to the cave, she quickly picked up one of the eggs, placed it inside her bag, and began climbing back up the rope. However, suddenly the same boy who had earlier tried to assault her outside the cottage grabbed her leg and began pulling her down. The python had vomited him out inside the cave, and although he was severely injured, he was still alive. He told Zhao that if he was going to die, he would take her with him, but Zhao remembered that she had collected a little bit of snake venom earlier while looking for the Titan Python, so she pulled out that venom from her pocket and threw it into the boy's eyes, causing him immense pain. Taking advantage of this moment, she climbed up the rope and escaped. While writhing in agony, the boy accidentally broke one of the python's eggs and even tried using Zhao's rope to escape. But just then, the python returned to its cave, and with a powerful grip, it killed him on the spot. After escaping, Zhao ran out of the cave. On her way back, she met Shen and Muffin, but the python was following close behind her, forcing Shen and Muffin to hurry her into their vehicle and try to escape. While driving, Shen asked Zhao if she had taken anything besides the python's DNA sample. Zhao lied and said she hadn't taken anything, but Shen already knew the python was chasing them because she must have brought something from the cave. So when he asked Muffin to check her bag, they found the python egg she had stolen. Shen insisted that if they didn't return the egg to the cave, the python would kill all of them. But Zhao refused to part with the egg under any circumstance. She held a knife to Muffin's throat and ordered Shen to keep driving. When the python finally fell far behind, Zhao jumped out of the vehicle and walked away from them. Before she could escape, Jin and his men surrounded her. From their conversation, it became clear that Zhao was also working for someone, just like Jin, and had come to the island only to steal the Titan Python egg as part of a contract. Meanwhile, Jin's men dragged Shen and Muffin out of the car as well. Shen tried to explain to Jin that if the egg wasn't returned, none of them would survive. But Jin ignored him and tied up all three, Shen, Zhao, and Muffin. Jin locked Shen and Muffin inside a metal container and poured a large amount of blood over them, planning to use them as bait to lure the Titan Python, because he wanted to capture the deadly creature. Within moments, the python arrived, following the scent of blood. But Shen, using great cleverness and bravery, managed to free both himself and Muffin from their ropes. They were about to escape when Jin, watching through CCTV cameras, ordered his men to lock the container from the outside, trapping Shen and Muffin inside again. Zhao witnessed all of this and used cunning to free her own hands. She ran outside to help Shen and Muffin, but Jin's men chased her. She managed to grab Young by the throat with a knife and used him as leverage. Taking advantage of the distraction, she climbed onto the top of the container. She opened the small window on top, allowing Shen and Muffin to escape just in time before the python could attack them. A fight erupted between them and Jin's men. During the struggle, Hung overpowered Shen, but before Hung could kill him, the python attacked and devoured Hung. Muffin was also being badly beaten during the fight and, in desperation, opened the container door. The python burst out and began killing everyone in sight, creating total chaos. During this frenzy, it killed Jin's brother Yong as well, and Jin blamed Shen for Yong's death. Fueled by rage, Jin chased Shen to kill him. Jin tried to attack Shen with a large wood-cutting blade, but at the last second, Muffin knocked Jin down and saved Shen. Meanwhile, Zhao grabbed the python egg and ran to the boat, preparing to escape the island. But before she could leave, Jin followed her there and brutally beat her until she was half dead. As soon as Jin started the boat, Shen and Muffin also climbed aboard. Seeing them, Jin held a knife to Zhao's throat and ordered them to step off the boat. Zhao bit Jin's hand, but Jin stabbed her in the back with the knife. At that moment, Shen hurled a fire extinguisher at Jin and attacked him again. Jin was once more about to kill Shen, but Muffin saved him yet again. Just then, Shen noticed that the python had followed them all the way to the boat in search of its egg. To save their lives, Shen decided to return the egg, but Jin grabbed a knife and stood in front of the python, trying to kill it. The python killed Jin instantly. The massive serpent then picked up its egg and silently left Shen, Muffin, and Zhao alive. After everything that had happened, Zhao apologized to Shen for her foolishness and thanked him for saving her life. She then asked whether they still had any proof left to convince the government to declare the island a nature reserve. Shen still had the photo of the Titan python taken by his grandfather, but Shen believed that if something needed to be protected, it was better kept hidden. So he threw the last piece of evidence into the ocean. And that brings us to the end of today's story. How was the experience? Did you enjoy the video? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I really love reading them. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, and let's aim for at least 500 likes on this one. Don't forget to share the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next exciting breakdown. Alright then, I'll see you in the next interesting video. Take care, and goodbye.